A severe weather outbreak is expected to unfold across the south and central plains. Warm, unstable air is surging north, and that's going to fuel powerful thunderstorms capable of large hail, damaging winds, and even strong tornadoes. This won't be a one-day event. The threat stretches across multiple states and multiple days. Timing is crucial, so let's get right into that weather. Let's start off with our day one outlook, and we're going to have an enhanced risk over here in places like Altus, Oklahoma, Pampa, Texas, Woodward, Oklahoma. Those places I'm really worried about, as we're going to have the possibility for severe thunderstorms and the possibility for damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. I do think our tornado and our hail threat is going to be the highest today. We could be seeing hail up to 3 inches in diameter, wind up to 74 miles per hour, and tornadoes possibly up to EF2 to EF3 potential, as we do have a SIG 1 for all of these. So hail, we do have a 30%, wind, we have a 15%, and then for our tornado, we have a 10%. It's definitely something we need to look at very closely. Now, day 2, this is where I start to get very worried. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a moderate risk come with this enhanced risk right here, but do have a huge slight risk and a major enhanced risk, as we will have the possibility again for large tornadoes and large hail and possibly damaging winds. I don't think it's going to be as severe. I will still expect 74 mile per hour winds, and then for tornadoes, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a SIG 2 for our tornado outlook for the first time ever, as the hatch risks are actually a new thing. For our hail, we do have a 30% chance, and then for our tornadoes, we have a 10% chance. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little 15% chance. Main people affected by this will be Kansas City, Missouri, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. All of you guys are going to have the potential for severe weather and large tornadoes, large hail, and wind damage tomorrow on Friday as we go into the afternoon hours. Day 3, we have 2 slight risks, and this is likely going to be a mainly wind damage and hail threat. I don't think we're going to have much of a tornado threat, although I wouldn't roll out 1 or 2 tornadoes. We do have a little bit of a SIG 1 hatch risk over here for our severe weather risk, and the people affected by this are going to be Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Austin, Texas, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Buffalo, New York. All of you guys are in the threat for severe weather on Saturday. If you thought those 3 days were the only severe weather days, well, you'd be wrong, as we do have a day 6 15% chance for severe weather. I will be looking into this, as all of these people, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, are all in the threat for severe weather as we go into Tuesday. All of you guys are going to be in the threat for that severe weather. I do think this will be a tornado, wind, and hail driven event. Won't be as severe as tomorrow, but I do think it'll still be very severe. This is our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Over here in the southwest, we have a well above average temperatures, and then over here in the southeast, we have above average temperatures, and then over here we have nearly above average temperatures over here in the plains and across Dixie Alley. And then if you look up here in the north, places like Washington, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, all of you guys are going to be in the threat for some snow, as I will talk about in another video. Check that out. I do have another video coming out tomorrow on that snow that will be possible. These are our temperatures, and we're definitely going to be seeing some of that cold air seep in later next week, as we are going to have a severe weather, and that polar jet stream will be kicking in, and then it'll warm right back up. Right now we're dealing with 70s, 80s, even people down here in southern Texas reaching up into the 90s, and it's going to feel like spring, even summer out here. It's going to be very nice, so make sure to go play outside, guys. It's going to feel really nice out there. This is what the radar could look like for the next 2 weeks here, and we're going to have those systems of severe weather rolling through the plains in the southeast, and then we got those Alberta Clippers bringing in some snow across the Midwest and the Great Lakes. A little bit of an ice storm and snowstorm there. Definitely be watching that. Make sure to check my other video for that. Stick around as we're going to be talking about the chances for tornadoes later in this video, so definitely stick around. But we're definitely going to have these storm systems keep moving in, and it's really going to cause a lot of flooding. Let me show you guys how much rain we could expect within the next week or so. This is how much rain we could be dealing with in the next week. Some people over here in Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, and Dallas, all of you guys could be in the threat for 5 to 8 inches of rain across Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, up into the Dixie Alley here. We're going to be having a lot of rain over here in the eastern U.S. as we have those thunderstorms kicking off. We're going to have some of those supercells. It's just going to be training of those storms every single day. That's going to cause this rain over the next week, and it's really going to pile up as a lot of people die from that, and I want you guys to stay safe. This is what the radar could look like as we go through tomorrow. Could be having these supercell thunderstorms take off with this low pressure system, a 999 low pressure system. We're going to get these thunderstorms popping up across Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, up here into Arkansas, Louisiana, and Missouri, and have the threat for that severe weather as we go through Friday. This is where we could see some of that lightning, and you can see some of those supercells firing off there. That's going to turn into a line of storms. Then we could see a little bit of thunderstorms popping over here in Nebraska, Iowa. Could see a lot of storms popping up. This is Friday afternoon into Saturday as it turns into a line of storms. This is our CAPE values, and we could be reaching up to 2,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE in Texas, Oklahoma, and up into Kansas here. This is going to fire off all those storms to 2,500 joules per kilogram there. We're definitely going to have a lot of convective available potential energy, which is basically thunderstorm energy, and that's going to fire off some of those supercells. And we definitely have a lot of wind shear, which is what I want to show you guys. And my oh my, do we have a lot of wind shear. We got 70 to 80 knots. That's about 70 to 90 mile per hour winds up here, the 6-kilometer range, guys. Look at all this wind shear. This is going to cause spinning of the atmosphere, which is going to spin up those thunderstorms, and they are going to become supercells, which will create potential for tornadoes, aka mesocyclones, inside those supercells. This is where we could have some of those supercells up here into places of Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas, and we're definitely going to have a lot of supercells firing up here, places of Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and then we got a little spot there in Texas. Those areas I'm really worried for, as we could be seeing tornadoes and some large hail. This is our significant tornado parameter, and we could be seeing some tornadoes fire off over here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and that could definitely present possibility for tornadoes. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an EF3 or maybe even an EF4, although it's unlikely. It is definitely still a possibility that we could see some stronger tornadoes. This is a longer version, and we could see some of those supercells firing off over there in Oklahoma and Kansas, and then we just get these rounds of storms that keep playing as we go through these next couple days here. That forms into a cold front, or aka a large squall line. You get those storms firing off, they turn into a squall line, and then they start moving southeast. That's going to create the potential for severe weather on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's about it for today. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help my channel out. And make sure to click on these 2 videos up here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.